30%.
I give you the context.
I give you the history.
I fight fake news with facts.
Kayode. No, Kayode, I will let you talk. Kayode, I will let you talk if you let me talk. Kayode.
That's why more and more Lagosians are tuning in.
500,000 Lagosians.
720,000.
970,000.
Over 1 million Lagosians, they know that if you give me your afternoon, I will give you hard facts.
Well done, Sandra, all to going beyond the headlines and focus on the facts.
I am Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts.
First hard fact of the day, 296 confirmed COVID cases yesterday. It's almost 100 cases fewer than last Monday. Lagos State had the second highest number of cases with 49. Very low number relatively. Rivers was first with 63. The FCT, Osun and Edo rounded up the top 5. We're going to be talking about Edo and COVID on the big 3 today. But just because the numbers came down yesterday, it doesn't mean that they're going to keep going down if we don't keep taking precautions. So please limit your movement when you must go out to work or to buy essentials or wear a mask. I feel like this message is almost redundant at this point because a lot of people, I see a lot of videos of people at different kinds of owambes and different kinds of parties, and very few of them are wearing masks. Like you see 10 people and only 1 is wearing a mask. What am I even saying? You see 100 people and only 2 are wearing a mask, you know? But I'm hoping that those 2 people listen to hard facts. And hopefully they are at least vaccinated, which is our second hard fact of the day. Vaccinations are ongoing. Just go to the primary healthcare center nearest to you for your first dose. But for your second dose, you have to go back to the one where you got your first dose, right? Thank you for listening to this show. I have a great show for you, starting with the big 3. We'll talk about protests in Edo State over the no vaccine, no entry rule for government offices. Then let's talk about an attack on a military base in Sokoto. And then let's talk about the Northern Governors Forum rejecting VAT decentralization and zoning of the presidency. Chukwudi Ezugwu will be here for Community U Report with a fantastic guest, so be here when that conversation comes your way. On the big hard fact, let's talk about the road to 2023. We're looking at how the different parties are gearing up for the next general election. We're going to be doing this more regularly on hard facts as campaign season draws closer. I know that a lot of you want all the information as you make your decisions, right? That's why 1 million Lagosians cannot be wrong. As usual, we'll have news updates at the top of every hour for you. Listen to every minute if you want to win on just a minute, like the caller from yesterday. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts.
This is the Big 3.
The big 3
on Hard Facts
on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Will Nigerians accept vaccine mandates? Is the insurgency and violence under control? And do you believe in rotation and zoning? Those are your big 3. Lagos, let's talk. Our first story takes us to Edo, where people are protesting against the vaccine mandates. Last week, I told you about the new rule in Edo State, where people with proof of vaccination will be admitted into government offices first and then later on crowded public events. I even interviewed the head of the Edo State COVID-19 Enforcement Unit, Haruna Yusuf. If you missed that interview, well, I have a few excerpts for you that you can listen to.
What precisely the directive is? What precisely does the directive instruct?
Well, first let me start by saying that the third wave of the coronavirus, the one that is named Delta variant, is no longer in news. It has been on, and the medical personnel, doctors, nurses, and other who handlers of health matters are confirmed. They have since confirmed that this Delta variant is more deadly than the first 2 variants that the whole world has experienced. And as it concerns Edo State, when we see the number of fatality that is being recorded on daily basis, the governor is the chief security officer of the state and is saddled by our constitution with the responsibility of having to protect lives of citizenry.
Right.
In this regard, but the health matters. Now we are caught between, do we now let our people loose and they continue to contract this virus and people keep dying on a daily basis? Within the first week of this third wave, we had recorded in Edo State, as of then, about 36 deaths. But as we speak now, it's well above 50 now. And we are yet to click the fourth week of the third wave. So, it is the responsibility of government to find a way of how to have an immune system, a society where people are immune against this coronavirus with a view to reducing the fatality and the spread of the virus.
Right.
Therefore, Edo State government has come up, in addition to the already established non-pharmaceutical protocols of having to wear face masks, wash your hands, and sanitizers, social distancing, and all of that. The government of Edo State has extended this protocol to include the current no vaccination card, no entry to public facilities. It's actually going to extend to all the public and facilities and where people gather. Now it's going to extend to churches, banks, markets, and every other place. So, but first is charity has to begin from home.
Right.
We have started. We commenced this exercise last week, Wednesday.
Right.
And today marking the 5th day. And you see, fantastic Edo people. Some are just not having enough time to go about this vaccination. Some are just being lazy. But also, some start on the fence. Maybe government is not even serious about it.
Right.
And some are like, because of the social media publications here and there, who say some saying touchlight, light or magnetic something. So, some are just in between. But when they now saw that the governor of Edo State and the entire cabinet of Edo State government took this vaccine, and strategic leaders of the society, like the church leaders, the mosque leaders, the bankers, the ordinary persons on the market, men and women, artisans, everybody came up and they took this vaccine, and it was circulated, and I go and this thing is real. So this one is like additional tonic that has now boosted and encouraged our people to have understanding that this is real. If it's not real, government will not be this serious. So our people will readily adhere to instructions when they believe that the instruction is in their own interest.
Apparently, not all of them will adhere to these instructions because some of them have taken to the streets to protest against it. We've seen various student groups and civil society organizations organizing marches against the no vaccine, no entry rule. This is 1 week later. And now they're threatening to barricade any office that implements it. Edo is not the only government with some COVID restrictions, and they're not the only ones that are meeting resistance. The federal government says that it suspended the passports of more than 2,000 Nigerians because they disobeyed quarantine laws after traveling into the country. And then, of course, during the lockdowns, we had lots of people disobeying the restrictions and moving around and attending gatherings, right? So here's what I want to know. Do you view all these different restrictions in the same light, or do you think that some restrictions make more sense than others? And then specifically, I want to know what you think about the Edo State no vaccine, no entry rule. And finally, I want to know what you think about the Nigerians who violate quarantine rules and who are moving around the country immediately after flying in. Do you support the federal government's decision to suspend their passports? Talk to me, Lagos. 01465-7190. I think that's the only number still working. So 01465-7190. Of course, if calling in is difficult for you, there's always social media. So Facebook, Nigeria Info 99.3, WhatsApp 080-959-75805. We're going to take your comments as quickly as we can. And if you are listening to us abroad, you can call into the show as well. Just search for us on Skype. We are Nigeria Info FM on Skype. Search for us and dial us, and we're going to connect you to the live studio. Benjamin is in Ikeja. Hello, Benjamin.
Hello, Sandra. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Our honorable president of Hard Fact.
Good to have you on the show.
My salutation to you once again.
Same to you.
In the case of this vaccine in those states, you see, Sandra, you see, everybody is entitled to his opinion.
Right.
That is number one.
Okay.
And the idea of these forcing people to take vaccine, it's to me, it's very rude.
Okay.
And unacceptable.
Okay.
There is no country. If Nigeria is considered to be a country where democracy is well practiced, like America, where they have House of Congress, where all things are done in order. If Nigeria is claimed to be in such manner, then why are you forcing the citizens to take vaccine? The only thing you can be telling the citizens is either you give them an exhortation, you advise them that everybody should mask up, put your face mask in public centers, but not, okay, why don't you force people in producing food for them, making food cheap for them in public places?
But even in those countries you mentioned, they're forcing them to take vaccines as well, and they're also protesting in the streets.
Sandra, you know the period which they forced some countries in taking vaccine. There were people who take this vaccine that they were dying.
Okay.
Hello?
I'm hearing you. Go ahead.
Yes, there are some countries whereby they take this vaccine. I believe that you are aware of it, and some of the citizens died.
That's not true.
So this issue.
That's not true. That's not true.
Yes.
That's
true.
That's not true.
Maybe you did not get. Maybe the information did not reach you.
No,
I'm telling you, there are few Nigerians. Sandra, let me talk first. There's few Nigerians who are aware of these things, and it's not even possible that everybody must hear it.
Hold on, Benjamin. So I have over 1 million listeners, and what you're not going to do with public health is misinform people or disinform people. So when you say there are countries where they took the vaccine and people died, name the countries, name the vaccine they took.
Well, Sandra, now I cannot lay hand on those countries. But
you can't lay hand on those countries. You can't name the vaccines.
But it is real.
No, it's not real. It's not real. It's not real. I'm telling you, it's not real. If you say it's real, name the countries, name the vaccines.
Okay, fine. But based on my opinion, Sandra, as a democratic system of government, it is not ideal for a government to force people in taking vaccine.
Okay.
The only thing you can do to them is to advise them. Let them mask up. Maintain the social distance. And at the same time, use their alcohol detergent to rub their hand. That is all.
Okay.
So to me, that's my idea. That's my opinion for now. And thank God, I have not even taken any vaccine. Talk more of. And I'm not condemning anybody not to take. If you want to take, you can take, but not forcing people to take it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for calling us, Benjamin. 99.3. Hello.
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 Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello. Afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name, sir?
I am Ugo. It's my name. I'm speaking from Oba.
Good to have you on the show.
Yeah, thank you. On this issue, I want to ask how many vaccines do we really have in Nigeria?
How many do we have in Nigeria?
Yes, now.
So far over 40 million, at least 40 million.
That we have.
At least,
and
yes.
You are asking everyone to go out when you know we have over 200 million. It is only if we have actually offered almost 80% that you can now say everybody should now, you must go out and have it.
Hmm.
In Edo, I don't think Edo have up to 1 million. And they're not asking everybody, you must not go to any government.
Sir, your line is breaking up, which is very unfortunate. I do hope you can call us back. Your line is breaking up very badly. So some of the things you're saying, we can't exactly hear. So please call back if you can, okay? We've got Stacy, who's been trying to call into the show. Stacy Uwejean. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. So let's try to give her a call back. She's been calling on Skype. I'm guessing she is one of our international listeners. She's not picking up, so we're going to have to come back to... Oh, she's on the line now. Hello, Stacy. Hello, Stacy. Stacy changed her mind. 99.3, hello.
Hello, Sandra.
Thanks for calling. Good afternoon. What's your name?
My name is Olumuyiwa.
Long time no hear.
Yes, difficult calling your show, Gary.
Okay.
Like first time caller, the old caller. Where government should do not just arrest people that come from abroad and run away. They should get them because they are one of the reasons where we are today. Because this corona, whatever, is not even Nigeria problem in the first place until they begin to distributing it to the citizens. Now, we not argue with anybody about fasting, but I have two things to say. The first one, it happened here in Lagos that one of the speakers in Lagos Assembly, all the food that they said they should give us last year that we are hungry, they sit in the house and the man said he want to distribute the food during the birthday. Then the speaker helped him to packaging the lie and say no, that's not what he meant. What he meant is that he kept the food for the second phase of coronavirus. And what happened to all the food? All the food expire and they throw it away. So the government that doesn't care about me hungry, the government that doesn't care about my security, I can't even go to Abuja again, I can't go to even East. I'd be afraid that they will kidnap me. The government that doesn't care now want to give me injection for what? Am I sick? So it's the government that will determine that the government don't want me to die or what? I don't want to argue whether people die or... But I'm asking in Nigeria, I'm not talking about Namibia or America, but this Nigeria, does it mean the government now care for me? That they don't want me to die? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for calling us on the Miriwa 99.3. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Nonso from Olodiabuka.
Welcome, Nonso.
Okay. I want to ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
How many are we in this country?
At least 200 million, allegedly.
200 million people.
Mm-hmm.
And they are recording 600 cases, 500 cases, 300 cases every day. We are watching. One day it must reach that 200 million people, and everybody must have contacted it.
Okay.
We are watching.
Also, thanks for calling. 99.3. Hello.
Hello, Sandra.
Thank you for calling. What's your name?
Hi, Alex here.
Welcome, Alex.
I want to talk in relation to about two callers ago, Muyo and the one before him.
Okay.
The first one doesn't think that they should force citizens to be vaccinated, right?
Mm-hmm.
The truth, I think I like the idea of instead try to persuade people to use their masks,
okay,
rather than just compelling people to get vaccinated. Quite frankly, I mean, in as much as it is desirable that everybody is vaccinated, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if you can actually compel people to get vaccinated. At no point in human history have people been
no, they've actually
compelled.
been. Historically,
yes.
Every time there's a public health crisis, every time there's
yes.
been vaccines, people are compelled
yes.
to vaccinate.
Okay. The next one I want to say is that in this kind of situation, why don't you work more? When you want to get information out there, rather than do it in an open mic kind of session,
mm-hmm.
why don't you bring those who you want? That's the message you want to promote as a station, right? And bring people who have the information that the people need. I'm just going to refer you to something that happened yesterday. Sheriff was running something on what's it called now? Climate change.
Right.
I'm an environmental scientist, right?
Right.
I'm a climate enthusiast as well.
Right.
I have some things I'm doing on the field at the moment.
Right.
Now, if you are promoting something on climate change, against climate change or global warming, rather than make it an open mic session where people, it's not a topic for opinion. You know that, Sandra. Yes. So you have an idea of the message you want to promote. Why don't you bring people who are experts at this to talk about it instead of leaving it as an open mic? Because if you put it an open mic, you were trying to correct that that first guy that kept giving you some false information. You keep getting a lot of false information.
No, but we have had lots of experts before. You were here when
I'm
we had
on this kind of situation. That guy actually was putting out a lot of false information, and you were trying to correct him.
No, here's the thing, right? So
he can easily mislead people. Yeah, go ahead.
So here's the thing, Alex. We've had the head of the vaccine agency here on the show. Okay. You just heard from the Edo State COVID compliance head on the show. We've had all kinds of experts on the shows. If you've heard from all of these experts and you've still made up your mind that they want to kill me, they want to.
What could you do, right? It's all right. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for calling, Alex. I'm not gonna kill myself. I've lined up the experts for you. I even had the guy that developed the Pfizer vaccine on the show. I went all the way to America to find the guy and hunt him down and beg him to come on Nigerian radio, and he did. This is so at this point, it's do you at this point. That's it. Do you? We've got Facebook, but what I won't allow you to do, though, while you're doing you, is misinform the people. So if you're going to call and make some outrageous claims that you read on Facebook, you're going to have to answer to me. That's just how it works. But yes, hold on to your opinion, say what you want to say, just don't misinform. That's all I beg of you. We've got Columbus. Columbus Odo is on the line. Hello, Columbus. Thank you for calling us.
Hi, Sandra. How are you doing?
I'm very well. Welcome.
Yeah, this is Columbus Obioma. Odo. I'm calling from Nigeria, America right now.
All right. Good to have you on the show.
This is Sandra. I mean, you can't really force some people. What they're doing in America right here is you compel people. Those who work in an organization, some organization says, fine and good, we can force you to take it, but if you have to work in this organization, it's either you get vaccinated or you stay home, so we don't have you, transmit it to other people. What the Edo State government is doing is not compelling people, they're simply saying, don't come into our complex. Don't come into our offices if you have not vaccinated. If you don't want to vaccinate, fine and good, stay home. Because you see, Nigeria are really difficult people. You can't really force them. But you can stay home.
Right.
Don't come to our office. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, but that's what the Edo State government did. That's what the Edo State government has done. They've said, don't come to our office, don't attend public events, stay in your house. But people are saying, no, you must allow me to come to your office and infect you.
That is very wrong, because where a right stops is where others begin. I've got vaccinated. My neighbor said he's not going to vaccinate. Then he got COVID. You see that?
Right.
And he was really sick. He was demanding for the vaccine. But then it was late. He has to be put on oxygen and stuff like that before he finally recovered. So I think some people already made up their mind they're not going to take it. So you don't have to force them, but they have to stay away so that they don't give others COVID. That's just it.
Columbus, thank you so much for calling to share your take with us. All right, Lagos. We have more people who are trying to call into the show. 99.3. Hello. Oh, you're not there anymore. Fidelis is in mile 12. Hello, Fidelis. Hello.
Yeah, my name is Fidelis.
Good to have you on the show.
Sandra, You remember when they brought vaccines for meningitis?
Okay.
Did you see people telling you that they don't want to receive it?
I don't know. I wasn't on air at the time.
Oh, Christ. You need to see the way people were just trooping to health centers and, vaccination centers to receive this vaccine.
Okay.
Why? Because it is 100% guaranteed.
What year was that?
Now, the problem
what year was that? Fidelis, what year was that?
I can't remember, but I think then I was still in the village or so.
Okay.
But I really can't remember.
But it was before. But it was before there was WhatsApp and Facebook, right?
I think so.
So it was before information was democratized, which means that people like you and I can sit in our room and come up with information and disseminate it via social media. But that time, what you people were hearing was on the radio. You believe what you heard on the radio. You believe the government officials that told you this is good for you, go and do it. But now you have your attention being fought for by multiple voices.
Sandra,
so the times are different.
When I have a problem with the vaccine. Now, you're telling me to be vaccinated, and the vaccine does not guarantee me 100% safety.
Okay.
How can I be vaccinated and then still be hoping that somebody is going to infect me with the same virus?
No vaccine guarantees you 100% safety.
Sandra, what about the vaccine for polio?
No vaccine gives you 100%.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you for calling. We've got Bioye and Yaba on the line. Hello, Bioye.
Hi, Sandra.
Good to have you on the show.
Thank you. So I'll just use myself as an example. Initially, I didn't want to take it. I was kind of skeptical.
Okay.
But so I knew quite a number of people that took it. And a friend that lives in the U.S. came, and he's a doctor.
Okay.
And he's like, if you had seen people dying, they won't beg you to take it. Like, he literally rushed. He was probably the first to take it at work.
Okay.
So when I just listened to, different people kind of told me, go ahead and take it. There's no big deal, blah, blah, blah. So I took it. Now, my sisters, 2 of them in the U.S., their jobs basically said,
yes, go ahead.
Don't take it.
Your sisters said they're not going to take it.
No, my sisters didn't have a choice, because if they wanted to earn, make a living, they had to take it. Their work mandated that they take it.
Take it, yeah.
So you can't really force people to take it, but if you're an employer and you want to keep your staff and yourself safe, then you may decide to go that route, just like the Edo State government is doing. But otherwise, if somebody believes there's no COVID, how are you going to convince
them otherwise? Yeah.
So that's just what it is.
Yeah, thank you so much for calling. All right, Lagos, let's move to our second story. Okay, well, we have Michael's call already screened, so let's talk to Michael very quickly and then move to our second story. Hello, Michael. Hello, Michael.
Can you hear me, ma?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Mine is that I'm willing to take the vaccine, but due to the place that I'm working, my work, I'm not chance to go and take the vaccine. So what am I going to do? And I don't have a big phone to register online.
You don't have a big phone to register online?
Yes, ma.
Okay, but you want to take it, but you don't have the chance to go and take it?
Yes, ma.
I think they do on Saturday. How about Saturdays? You don't have chance on Saturdays? What? You don't have chance on Saturdays?
Ma, there's a sound coming from your studio that is disturbing my ear. I can't really hear what you're saying.
Oh, sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Sorry about that. That was a call from Skype. So I was asking, do you have chance on Saturdays?
I don't have chance. Though I'm running 24 hours.
That one is even long. Do you know what you can do? Do you know what we did in my own office here in Nigeria Info? So we registered as an office, and they told us the day that will come, and they went and they gave us the vaccine on that day. So what you can do is tell your bosses to register as an office. You can either go to the health center, or the health center staff will come and meet you, and you can vaccinate in your office.
Okay, but please, madam, can you just help me and register it?
Can I help you and register it? Sure. If you can find me on Facebook and send me a message, I'll help you and register.
Okay, ma.
Sandra Ezekwesili on Facebook. Find me, send me a message. I'll help you.
Okay. Okay, ma. Thank you, ma.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you very much for calling. Okay, that's my cue to move to the second story. It's 3:31, and our second story is a reported attack on a military base in Sokoto. The base is at Bukusuma village in Sabon local government area. It's the base of operations for Operation Handaring Daji. So far, the casualty numbers are not confirmed, but several newspapers and news channels are reporting that insurgents attacked the base in very large numbers and shot at the camp. They were eventually repelled. By the way, Sokoto is one of the states with the telecoms shut down right now. The shutdown was meant to weaken the insurgents, right, and give the security operatives an advantage over them. So when we hear that insurgents could go to a military base, to go to the headquarters of an operation, it raises a question yet again about whether this telecoms shutdown is working. Especially when you have some observers saying that you pay attention to what the president said at the UN General Assembly. You remember what the president said at the UN General Assembly, right? Where he told the world that the insurgents have been weakened and now it's only so-called soft targets that the insurgents are going after. So the question lots of people are asking is, was this military base at Burukusuma a soft target? What do you think? What do you think about the attack on the base? In your opinion, is this an indictment on the telecoms shutdown? On that policy to shut down telecoms? Is it an indictment on that policy? And yes, you can still talk about our first story if you'd prefer. 0700-993-993. That number is not working. It's just habits that is making me see that number. The number that is working is 01465-7190. 01465-7190. Daniel is on the line. Hello, Daniel, in Surulere. Thanks for calling us.
Sandra.
Yes, welcome.
Sandra, please, I'm going to ask you a very, very candid question. I want you to give me a candid answer too.
Okay.
Don't politicize my answer, please.
Politicize. Okay, I'll try.
Why did some country like Britain stop other countries from coming to their country? Why?
Why did this? That's not a very specific question.
No.
Turn your radio off. Turn your radio off.
There are some countries that stop other countries from coming in because of the type of injection they took, the type of COVID injection they took. Why?
That's just politics. That's just vaccine politics. It has nothing to do with the quality of the vaccine because the vaccines that were taken in Nigeria were made in the UK. So AstraZeneca, for instance, is the same vaccine that people in the UK are choking. That's what we're choking here. Moderna was made in America. That's what Americans are choking. That's the same thing we're choking here.
The very first vaccine that was sent to Nigeria, where was it made? The very first
in
one.
the UK, AstraZeneca. It was made in the UK. That's the one I took.
India?
No, UK. That's the one I took.
Okay. Thank you very much. That's just what I wanted to know. Because a lot of countries have stopped other countries from coming in.
It's just politics.
It's just recently that Britain now said Nigeria can now So
as I was saying, it's just politics, and it's irresponsible of the countries to be doing that because it's politics, but it's just politics. It has nothing to do with the quality of the vaccines. And like you said, even the UK themselves have said, oh no, Nigerians are not affected by this anymore. So,
okay, thank you.
Thank you, Daniel, for calling. Onyi is in transit. Hello, Onyi.
Hi, Sandra. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome.
Sandra, I want to talk about your first topic.
Okay.
My worry is Edo State is very, very volatile in terms of kidnapping.
Okay.
Now, Governor Baseke hasn't done anything about it, and he's going ahead to enforce people to go take vaccine when his state is in danger. Is vaccine, is it the first thing for him to do? When you're traveling to the east, you're carrying your heart at hand. You're praying, and people are also interceding for you to arrive safely. So I think they should try and do the first things first, and leave things that are where they are going to be getting money. They should leave that. If COVID kills anybody, let the person die. Not they shouldn't worry. So sorry about the hash. Thank you.
All right, Onyi. Thank you very much. Onyi says, if COVID kills anybody, let the person die. 99.3. Hello. Sorry about that. Call back if you can. Remember, if you're abroad, you can call us via Skype. Let me try and call back a few people who have already tried to call into the show. So we've got Bobby Agu. I don't know if that's Agu or Ogu, but Bobby has been trying to call. So let's try and give him a call back. Because we try to make sure that everyone has a voice, including diaspora Nigerians, right? And they always complain that it's difficult for them to get through via the regular phone lines. Bobby, how are you?
Yep.
Hello, Bobby.
Is that Sandra?
Yes, this is Sandra. Hi.
Hello. Yep, I can hear you. Yep. Yeah, hi there. I'm basically calling up to, I'm calling from the UK, name's Bobby, to contribute concerning the coronavirus thing and the Edo State governor forcing people. For my take, it's basically, first instance, right, try and entice people. Try and use the influencers, likes of Reedsky and all the big celebrity. If these guys are basically promoting the take of the virus, a lot of people, the followers will follow, right? What's his name? Naira Marley? He's got millions on funds. If you got Naira Marley on TV talking about the virus, taking the vaccine, all the Malians will follow suit. Right. Concerning forcing people, I'm an advocate for obviously the vaccine, basically, and it's all about saving lives. The question is how much, right? A lot of people calling up saying, I'm not too bothered about it. It might not happen to me, blah, blah, blah. Do you care about your neighbor? What about that lady who's pregnant? And if you got the virus, you infect her, are you bothered? So how much do we think about our neighbor? And that's really, really important. So I think what the governor is doing, I agree with it. Maybe he might want to take a different approach, might be better.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, it's all about saving lives. So long as lives could be saved, go for it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bobby, for calling us. All right. Let's try and get in touch with John. John has been trying to call as well for a while now. But let's talk to Ikechukwu, who is already here. Ikechukwu is in Otha Farm. All right, Ikechukwu is not there anymore. So let's just hope that John picks up, John Adeba. In the meantime, here is Adeshino Ayatoimbo on WhatsApp. Adeshino says, Sandra, have listened to you here. I've really decided to get vaccinated anyway. But I feel that you are making a defense for this insensitive government. The UK or US government can force people because these governments have always been responsible. Hence, people will always trust them to a large extent. Ours is the opposite, and that's why the obstinacy and recalcitrance, we don't believe these people again. They've lied so much, and it's caused so much unbearable losses. I think if the government apologizes firstly for their incompetence and failure, more people will be passionately convinced. All right, Adeshino. Well, I'm glad you want to get vaccinated because I told you to. We've got John finally on the line. Hello, John.
Hi, Sandra.
Good to have you on the show. Good afternoon.
Yeah. So I want to react to the first caller who said that people are not being forced abroad. So I've been in Europe for a while, and I'm a software developer. I work from home. I don't go to work. I've never been to an office. I just got a Telegram message this morning that says, if I don't get vaccinated, I'll be laid off, or my my contract will be reviewed by Monday. So I don't go to the office. I'm not even allowed to go to malls. I don't take trains anywhere. I don't use them so much because there's no need going out because I can't access anything. So even when I went on holiday, I was sent back after 2 days. So Nigerians should just take this vaccine. It doesn't cost anything. It's free and it's healthy. Nobody's dying. It's just fake news everywhere on social media. So I don't think there's any issue if you take the vaccines. Our problem is just that we don't trust our government. I think that's basically. And for the issue of people running after coming back to the country, that's just wickedness. That's wickedness. Can you do it abroad? Can you try it in the first world country? Can you do it in Europe? You can't even try. So why do you do it at home? So this is funny to me. Anybody that is being caught should be sent to jail because to me, this is attempted murder. You're trying to kill people. This is no play. 900 people die in a day in Italy. So this is no jokes. People should try to get the vaccine. If you don't want to get the vaccine, stay in your house. Nobody's forcing you. In Europe, they wanted to force us, but the European Court in Luxembourg said that I think the matter was basically they said they shouldn't do it. So now they said, okay, if you want to get any service, you should take the vaccine. In France, nurses were suspended, health workers were suspended in France. So you see, I was speaking with a friend yesterday. He's a lawyer. He said if you try taking the vaccine and your office doesn't allow you, you can actually sue. So it is no play. People should please try and take the vaccine.
All right, John.
That's all I have to say.
John, thank you very much for calling to say it. The Northern Governors Forum has replied the Southern Governors Forum. That's our third story. The NGF has given its own position on two issues: rotation and zoning of the presidency and decentralization of VAT. So let's talk about rotation and zoning first of all. Remember that the Southern governors had demanded that in 2023, the presidency should be zoned to the South. That was in the Lagos Accord. Now, the NGF has said, quote, the statement is quite contradictory with the provision of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, end quote. Then on the issue of VAT, the NGF says they will obey the courts since the matter is in court. But they believe VAT decentralization is a bad move. They said, quote, if every state enacted its own VAT law, multiple taxation will result in increases of prices of goods and services and collapse in interstate trade. VAT is not a production tax like excise, but terminal tax which is paid by the ultimate consumer. End quote. Now, if that argument sounds familiar to you, it's because you've also heard it here on Hard Facts. 2 weeks ago, when Taiwo Oyedele from PwC was here, he also talked about prices going up if different states set their own VAT. But his co-guest that day was Chief Andy Oboforibo, and he countered that. He said that this is not a new situation. He said that in other countries, you simply have the different federating units sharing information with each other to avoid double taxation. But anyway, those are the positions of the NGF. On elections, the NGF wants it to be every state or region for itself. So for elections, every state or region for itself. But on taxation, they want all states to share. And I want to know your position. You've heard from the Southern Governors Forum and you've heard from the Northern Governors Forum. Let me hear from the People's Forum. 014657190. Talk to me, Lagos. Yes, you can talk about the first story or the second story. We told you about Sokoto. We told you about vaccines in Edo and the protests on the streets of Edo. And now we've told you what the NGF had to say about zoning and VAT. 99.3. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for calling. What's your name?
Hello, Sandra. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. What's your name?
Yeah. Yes. Concerning those where they go attack, I condemn that attack. Are you hearing me?
Okay.
Yes. Now, let them carry those army and those police waiting for southeast. So let them carry them go to north and repair the attacks. Are you listening to me?
Okay.
So concerning the vaccine, I never see vaccine. I won't collect that vaccine. But sister, you cannot buy for somebody because there is hunger in the country. Now the person wake up, I ain't go collect vaccine now. But to me myself, at the top. But to me, we won't collect vaccine. I never see them.
Why you never see them? What thing they happen for Otafam?
Auntie, let me tell you, that Ota General Hospital, Everyone said in the hoarding, they are hoarding the vaccine. They are hoarding it.
Okay.
Yes, that's why we never collected.
Have you checked any other health center? Because it's primary health center.
I leave my machine, my work, while they work. Make a conde, work at the goal of I won't collect vaccine. If you were telling me.
Okay.
The government to give us vaccine, palliative. Did they give me palliative? Then, supposedly if I die for hunger, will you tell me something I can collect vaccine, Sister Sandra?
No, because you don't die.
No, let's just tell ourselves the truth. People are talking about the vaccine, but you are not talking about our palliative. You are not talking about our 70 billion naira palliative money. About that loot 1 trillion we can bring. Now vaccine. Sister Sandra,
we talked about palliative. We talked about Abacha loot. Now we're talking about vaccines. Stop being dramatic.
Palliative now. Make we chop before we collect our vaccine.
Okay. Thank you for calling Ikechuku. 99.3. Hello.
Hello.
How are you? What's your name, sir?
I'm fine, Sandra. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thanks for what you are doing. You're doing a wonderful job.
Thank you, sir.
So I want to talk about the vaccine. You see, the idea of forcing people to take that vaccine, I'm not in support of it at all.
Okay.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because there's a conspiracy theory that when you take the vaccine, it doesn't stop you from contacting the COVID.
No, that one is not even a conspiracy theory. That one is true.
This measure of sanitizing, wearing your mask and washing your hands, I prefer that method. Honestly, I must tell you the truth.
Okay. All right. Thank you for calling. Well, I mean, again, yes, if you what's the word I'm looking for now? If you are vaccinated, you can still get the virus, but you have a lower chance of getting the virus. You have a much lower chance of getting the virus than somebody who is not vaccinated at all. If you are vaccinated, and you encounter somebody who is COVID-19 positive and you get the virus, right? It enters through your nose, through your mouth, through your eyes. There's something called spike protein. It's on the COVID-19 virus. It will try and find a way, a gateway on your cells to bind to. It will try to find a way to enter your cells and start replicating. But if you are vaccinated, you already have antibodies, or let's call them soldiers, that will bind to the virus. These antibodies will effectively neutralize the virus and stop them from entering your cells. If you are exposed to a very high viral load of COVID-19, so let's say that the antibodies generated by vaccination is able to neutralize about 80% of the virus, right, that enters your system. That leaves only 20%, right, of the virus to enter your cells and start replicating and infecting other cells, right? What that means is that the amount of effective virus that a vaccinated individual is being infected with is much less than what he or she would have initially been exposed to. So a few days after you are exposed as a vaccinated person, your adaptive immune system, which are made up of all kinds of kicker cells, will kick in and make more antibodies with the cells from the vaccine and kick the virus out of your body. So the person who is vaccinated and somehow manages to get the virus, you will not even know that you've gotten the virus because you're vaccinated. You have very, very mild symptoms. It's especially important with the Delta variant because the Delta variant is much more aggressive than all the other variants out there. That's why the push to get vaccinated is very high, because the longer it takes to vaccinate as many people as possible, the more chance we're giving the virus to mutate. If the virus continues to mutate, we're eventually going to get to the point where the vaccines that we could have will now be even useless. So we'll be back to square one. And I don't know about you, but I don't want that. I don't want to go back to square one. I don't want to go back to the part where the whole country was locked down and you couldn't see anything to buy or eat. I don't want that. So that's how it works in a nutshell. And and this is not even information that I'm giving you off the top of my head. It's information that several experts have come on Hard Facts to share with you. Several. But again, it's like I've been saying, I can't force you to to do this. You either do it or you don't. But it's like one of the callers said, where your right to not do it stops where my right to do it begins. Which is why Edo State is saying, if you don't want to vaccinate, that's fine. But don't carry yourself and come to a government office. That's what they're doing. That's what people are doing all over the world. If you want this service, get vaccinated. Otherwise, stay in your house. Cook your food by yourself. Do your hair by yourself. Do whatever you want to do in the comfort of your house. Don't come out and infect other people. That's what the world is doing. Charles from Lekki says, are the vaccines safe for pregnant women? Yes, according to the experts, yes, it's safe for the pregnant women. But the pregnant women need to have conversations with their doctors, and get an okay from their doctors before they go ahead and take it. Also from WhatsApp, Oscar says, the attack on the military base is a sign that there's a compromise within the military camp. Please help confirm. We heard that there was an accidental discharge in Borno State. We're going to take a look at that. I don't know for sure. Chinedu from Ayobo says, I get pissed off when people argue as if they have not heard about vaccines before. My son had measles. Thankfully, he had been vaccinated, so the effect was minor. The same principle applies to the COVID vaccines. Is this difficult to understand? Small time now, they will start talking about palliatives. Chinedu. Oh, God. We've got Mr. Bubbles, who says the answer to that caller, the European countries do not trust our vaccination process, not the vaccines. They are fully aware of our shrouded vaccination process. Yes, because Nigerians like me and you are collecting money and not giving the vaccine out. So vaccines that are free, government has provided for free, you will say, oh, I don't want to take the vaccine. You will get to some health centers. They will collect money from you. They will give you the card. They will put your details online as you are vaccinated. Then they will destroy the vial of vaccines. We talked about it here. I think it was last week, Seth. We discussed it last week. And some people said, well, it's because you're forcing people. That's why. Sandra, good afternoon. The VAT matter is in court. Is the Northern governors directing the Supreme Court on what judgment to deliver? Samuel Shodi says. Samuel, thanks for that question. I can't answer it, obviously. Dio says, isn't it obvious Nigeria is a terrible union? These people are acting like the colonial masters, while Southern politicians are pretending like they don't know the North is holding the South to ransom. Minus times plus will always be minus. Daya with that message there. Daya, thanks for sending us a message in. What will happen if all Edo people decide to go for the jab? Are you sure there will be enough jab? Well, the adults in Edo are at least 1.5 million people, and the head of the enforcement unit claims that there's enough vaccines to vaccinate all the adults in Edo. So if that doesn't happen, well, we're going to talk about it on Hard Facts. That will become yet another story for us to discuss on the show, right? Sandra, please, the Edo State government should stop deceiving themselves. Why did the Edo State government not speedily share palliatives to the people of Edo State? If all the Edo people take the vaccine, what about people coming to Edo State on visits? Is it possible that COVID-19 kills the rich faster than the poor? That's why they're acting like they like us. I beg, go and check the stats. Cholera kills almost same number of people. What did government do about it? Just because it's killing only the poor, they did not take measures like this. Miolensky from Akute. All right, Miolensky, thank you for your message. Well, I guess, if all the rich people get vaccinated and all the people die, perhaps, you will be happy. Is that the kind of world you want to live in? The world where all the poor are dead and all the rich are alive because they did the right thing, which is vaccinate? Because it's equivalent of just sending your children abroad to go to school. And this time you can afford it. You can actually rub shoulders with the rich and say, oh, I'm vaccinated like my Oga. I'm vaccinated like my madam. I cannot die. My madam wants to be alive and I'll die. You can't do it now because you're vaccinated. Except something else kills you, of course. We need to take a break. I apologize if that was offensive. But let's take a break. We'll be right back.
OmniBiz, oh. Online market for your store. No enter market just to open your store. Them go deliver your goods straight to your door.
Free yourself from katakata.
obeying constitution and they've been ruling the way they want to rule and they've been doing whatever they want to do in this country, is it now that they have decided that they are coming back to the constitution, that they know what the constitution is saying? So if you look at this situation scenario that plays out, I will consider it to be a deceit. And the people you are dealing with, they are intelligent people. If you agree with me to do something and you said you first, and tell me that this is what the constitution said. So these people, these politicians, they are people who are civilized. They know what they are doing, and you can't deceive your seconds that you are deceiving the whole population. If you know what you are doing, you should be right of what you are doing. They never consider constitution, and it's not now that they talk about constitution. And they should look for a vibrant leader, some from any position, and as far as the politician, he should contest as a president, like the Southwest and the Southeast said, and that is how it's going to be.
All right. Thank you very much. Oscar Clement from Alaba International Market says, I need the vaccine. Where can I get it in Ojo, Alaba International? Well, I'm sure there are primary health care centers around you in Ojo. So if you do, like the same way that you've just messaged me on WhatsApp, open your Google app, search primary health center near me, and then go ahead and, do what you need to do. Meanwhile, we have been getting vaccine from the day we were born, produced by the same white people who produce COVID-19 vaccines. So why is this one raising hell? That's a very good question. We've got a message here from Ayodeji Vaughn. Ayodeji says, Sandra, the seatbelt of a car does not prevent the car from having an accident. It only prevents you from dying from the accident. That's exactly what the COVID-19 vaccine does. Thank you, Ayodeji. That's a very nice example. Thank you for sharing it with us on the show. Well, that's all the time I have. Chukwudi is here already to bring you Community U Report, but that will only come after the business news at the top of the hour. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. We're going to talk about 2023 politics at 5 o'clock, so don't go away.
And now the business news.